welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're getting into Kenaniram Odimba's play, Princess and the Hustler. It's really quite powerful.
It really is a very moving piece.
Yeah, it's this intimate look at a family, but it touches on these huge universal themes. And it's set back in 1960s Bristol in St. Paul's, centered around Princess, who's this young black girl just trying to figure things out, her dreams, her family.
And Odimba herself, her motivation was apparently quite clear. She really wanted to empower young black girls.
Right.
And also, crucially, to shine a light on a piece of UK civil rights history that often gets, well, overlooked.
That history piece is so important here, isn't it? The whole thing is set against the backdrop of the 1963 Bristol bus boycott.
Exactly.
Which was all about challenging the color bar, this policy that basically stopped black people from being hired as bus drivers.
Yeah, it wasn't just a few bad apples. It was systemic, a real barrier to opportunity based purely on race.
Okay, so let's maybe unpack that a bit. Let's start with Princess herself. Her journey seems central to exploring identity and belonging.
Definitely.
Like her wanting to win beauty pageants. That immediately throws you into thinking about the pressures, right? These very Eurocentric beauty standards she's navigating.
Absolutely. What's fascinating there is how personal that is her individual dream, but how it instantly connects to these wider societal expectations placed on young black girls, particularly then.
And then her father, the hustler, shows up again after being away. How does that kind of complicate things for the family's identity?
Oh, massively. It throws everything up in the air, their sense of stability, who they are as a unit, what belonging even means when someone just reappears like that. It shows identity isn't fixed. It's constantly being negotiated, especially within family.
And this personal negotiation is happening while this massive public struggle, the bus boycott, is going on outside their door.
Right. The connection is direct.
How did that color var specifically impact families like Princess's day-to-day, beyond just the job itself?
Well, it hit hard. The play really brings that often ignored bit of Black British history right into the living room. You see how institutional racism, like the bus company's policy, wasn't abstract.
It had real consequences.
Exactly. It meant economic hardship, constant daily prejudice. And you see how it chips away even at the kids, at Princess's own sense of hope and fairness. It wasn't just something happening out there.
And the play also seems to really explore gender dynamics, too. You mentioned Princess and the pageants, but also her mother, Mavis, right?
Yeah.
Juggling jobs.
Yes, Mavis is carrying so much. The expectations on her as a woman, as a black woman in that time, it's immense.
So it's showing that intersection, race, gender, class. They aren't separate issues.
Not at all. Odimba shows brilliantly how they intersect and compound each other. Being a black woman dealing with poverty in a society that's both patriarchal and racist creates this unique bind, these specific challenges.
And that leads straight into the class aspect, the social inequality.
The economic struggles are right there, front and center.
And it's not just bad luck, is it? The play links it directly to those discriminatory practices.
Absolutely. It underlines how systemic barriers created this stark contrast between the opportunities and, frankly, the dignity afforded to working-class black families versus the white majority. It shapes everything. And I think Odimba's real genius here is how she makes these big, potentially abstract issues, systemic racism, economic inequality, feel so incredibly human.
Yeah, you feel it through the family.
Exactly. By focusing on their intimate struggles, their hopes, their arguments, their love for each other, it's not a lecture. You see it through Princess's eyes, a child trying to make sense of this complex adult world.
That perspective shift is powerful. It really builds empathy.
It does. You connect on a deeply human level.
And here's where it gets really interesting for me. The relevance today. Those struggles in 1960s Bristol, they don't feel entirely historical, do they?
Not at all. The echoes are loud and clear. The conversations about race, identity, representation, belonging, they're still happening.
It's a stark reminder, isn't it, that the fight for real equality, for justice, it's an ongoing process. It's not finished business.
Definitely not. And that's why the play works so well. It educates you about this specific important moment in UK history, but it also resonates now.
And it empowers without being, overly provocative.
I think so. It works through honesty, through showing the resilience of this family, particularly the women. It shows how personal dreams, like Princess wanting to win that pageant, are tangled up with these much larger collective struggles for dignity and rights.
So wrapping this up, Princess and the Hustler feels like more than just a play about the past.
Much more.
It's a story that connects history to now, exploring identity, resilience. It really makes you think about where we are today on that journey towards equity.
And maybe that leaves a question for you, the listener, to ponder. How do stories like this, stories that bring history and humanity together so powerfully, how do they challenge us or maybe inspire us to think about our own role in building a fairer society right now?
That's a great question to end on. We really encourage you, if you get the chance, engage with the play or its themes. Reflect on it. It's definitely a story that stays with you